very good evening, everybody, and welcome to All Four Back, episode 27 of season 19. I'm, of course, Chester 430, and I'm joined, as always, by Hadlington. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Dan. Good evening, everyone.
And good evening to Shads. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, everyone.
Well, of course, guys, it was Knockout Cup action this week. We're going to take a run through of what's happening on tonight's show, first of all, to start with. We will have a review of the Knockout Cup action that's just happened. We also have Shad's Rider of the Week. We have a preview of Week 5 of the league. And, of course, we have the first draw of the GP and SCS rounds. So stick around for that to see where you're riding to at the first rounds. There we go. We have the Panthers Norse review, Spartans and Piemen, Wolves and Cowboys. Then we have Shad's Rider of the Week, our League 5 week previews, the SCS wildcard announcement, and then, of course, the BGP and SCS round 1 replacements. And also, I believe we are doing the draw as well, if I'm correct in saying.
Yeah.
We are
some news. Badger wants to make an announcement. Maybe he's getting married and inviting us all to the wedding.
We'll have to bring him in.
I'm available for best man if he's interested.
We'll bring him in at some stage anyway. We'll bring him in at some stage. Okay, so first up we have the Knockout Cup second legs of season 19, and we started at Plymouth where the Panthers took on the in-form Hackney Norse, and the writing was on the wall the second the first leg was over. That massive win by the Norse in the first leg pretty much put this tie to bed. Hads, your thoughts on the Panthers against Norse? Because it was pretty much one-way traffic, wasn't it?
Yeah, unfortunately for the Panthers, I think they'll just use that meeting as a bit of track time, get a bit more home track knowledge maybe. Norse came with a full team and didn't really look like letting go, shall we say, and just put it all onto the Panthers. And obviously the first few heats and the advantages. But halfway through the match, there were another 16 points up just in this match alone.
Yep.
So, I mean, it was always going to be tough for the Panthers. Obviously, Barney stepped down, so they used rider replacement there, and they had Lango coming in at number 6 instead of Craigie Hurl. So, I mean, rather than Cape C just giving all his riders an extra ride for that rider replacement ride as well, which I think is does make some sense there. But strangely enough, they actually, all the Panthers riders, barring Lango was guesting, actually won a race as well, which is weird when you see how many points they lost by.
Yeah.
But obviously the Norse, again, what can we say? I mean, Max there dropping 1 point from his 5 rides. Trek Locker again, double figures. Fecky paid for 11. I mean, the lowest score.
Only two Panthers heated advantages all night. Those 2 5-1s had in the middle of the meeting.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, and obviously both times there, that was the only 2 occasions that Norse finished last in the whole meeting. So, but I mean, it's for the Panthers, but obviously they'll learn. They've got Crook coming in, obviously, into their squad for the next meeting. See if he's available. So hopefully they can pick up quite a little bit, and because there has been some encouraging signs from the Panthers, but hopefully they've solved their little issues now and they can just get on with the season.
Yeah, I was going to say that Hackney have been like the surprise team this season. Consider how they started last year, literally being dominated everywhere, and to then do this now and be top of the league after what, 3 matches at the moment they've done.
Yeah,
and they've definitely put the team on notice. But like I said, fair play to Hackney. They go through to the next round, which I believe they face the Warriors.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
Warriors. So but a different Warriors team this year in comparison to last year. So it's going to be, it's going to be very interesting to see how that goes. We then moved on to the Cowboys against the Wolves. That match took place. That was the second match that took place. And we're going to Spartans. My apologies. We're going to the Spartans. 53-37 against the Newcastle Pinemen. Of course, the Spartans roll on to the second round. Now, of course, Shads and Hads, you actually raced in this meeting, didn't you? Well, actually, in fact, all three of you here. Ben Thompson did, Shads did, and Hads did. Shads, just want to get your thoughts, mate, if I can. You were dropped in at number 2 against Hyde, your former track. Scoreline obviously doesn't reflect how racing was going, but some good racing, you think?
Some great racing, but not from me. It was pretty dire. I made one gate all night, and then spent the rest of the race trying to avoid my teammates mostly. I think Paris was I managed to keep out of his way for a change. I think me and Westy got a bit mixed up. I think I was trying. When me and Hads were racing, what race was it? I can't remember what race it was. Hads, what was it? We had one. I think Heat 9, wasn't it? I was just trying to keep out of your way for the first 3 laps. And I thought, well, I'll let you go because Rossi was so far behind. I thought, well, he's not going to catch us. So I just let you go because I thought, I'm not going to end up racing you because Dealshaw had gone. I mean, I couldn't even see him on my screen. He was that far ahead.
Yeah.
So
it was the same in Heat 2, though, wasn't it, as well? I mean, Cappy was gone.
Yeah. I mean, just awful gating all night. I think the one gate I made, was it the one that was posted on Facebook, the Heat 6? That was a terrific race between Paris and Dealshaw. I actually made the gate of actually leading for the first half a lap, and then Dealshaw just zoomed past me on the back straight. Paris passed me about half a lap later, and then Mentor had a ding-dong battle up front. And I just sort of managed to hold Rossi off for a point. But apart from that, I mean, even if Tintin would have been riding, and he hates the track anyway, I think he missed it last year when he was riding for Scorchers. And I think he was generally unwell though, so he couldn't ride anyway. But if he always sees the stuff from Hyditis when this comes along.
Hyditis, that's great.
Even if I scored a maximum, I don't think it would have made a lot of difference to the eventual result. No, it's a pretty woeful. But credit to Spartans, they were very, very good. I mean, Ben, not just blowing smoke up your backside, but he was pretty quick. The races I raced with him, he was gone. There was no catching him.
Yeah.
Perretta had a very strange night. He looked very, very, very off until his last race. Cathy was sensational. Dealshaw, of course, as always, I don't know where he finds the speed. Ryan was really great up to his last ride. And Rossi looked a bit off the pace, but I'm sure he'll pick up eventually. But no, Spartans are worthy winners, no complaints. I don't think any of the Piemen can complain, really.
No, not at all.
Well, I mean, to be fair, with Powers, he started off slow with those 2 unusual non-wins, that third and second. They had 3 straight wins after that, so it shows he still knows his way around Hyde. Got to say that Heat 6 that was obviously on the on Facebook, where it was you saw the 2 different lines on that track. I mean, that's why Hyde or the Spartans pick Hyde, because they had all those different lines. That turn 3 and 4, that inside line that was being used by DL was absolutely amazing.
It's a great racing track. I mean, I enjoy riding there, but just not very good. I mean, I've never been blessed with a lot of speed. So it's just my plan is just to try and get in the way and let my partner sort of build up enough of a lead so he can, and then maybe pick up a third place. That's my usual plan there. That's my usual plan pretty much everywhere, really. Just get in the way. That's it. But not my teammates.
They were so quick though out the gates. So I have to say as well,
Yeah.
Spartans. I mean, we practiced the day before, and we was like, you know what, this is probably the best we've practiced as a team together. We thought we can give this a right go, and then like the gating out the starts. Just, I mean, obviously when Ben gated and Cappy gated, we thought, okay, they might not be as quick as the other guys, but they were just as quick as the top guys like Ryan and DL, and there was just like no catching them whatsoever.
No.
And they were sticking to the line as well.
Honestly, it was just
there's not a lot you can do, really, is there, Hads?
So tough, and we were just battling to get the 3-3s a lot of the time and take what we could, to be honest. But
crazy.
And
of course,
that pretty much over after the first first 4 heats, wasn't it? Really?
Yeah, wider replacement never helps as well, though, does it?
I don't think we got heat advantage. Was it heat 12? Was the first heat advantage? And of course,
that was me.
Heat. Well, that was you, yeah. It was pretty much over by the first 4 heats, wasn't it?
Yeah, unfortunately.
I hope.
So, yeah, and of course, Hads, you had that. You were in that meeting as well. Solid night, paid 8. You know, only one last place. So, I mean, you happy with at least having a decent score like that?
No, not really. I don't class it as a decent score for 6 rides, to be honest, because the 4 meetings I've rode, I haven't hit my average once, I don't think. The 0 was a lag as well. I lagged straight into the grass after going and popping the inside of Cappy going into the second lap, and I was just but then the next race I come back out and I beat Toretto and get a full 2. It's like what's going on? But no, I think they were really worthy winners, the Spartans. I mean, they'll take a lot of beating there. For me, I mean, if anybody can go there and win, they'll probably be league champions. In my opinion.
Next week's next. I know we're going to talk about it later, but next week's going to be interesting when North go there.
Oh,
I think that's going to tell us a hell of a lot about this season.
Yeah, about both teams.
Spartans are my favourites for the league. Having seen them and the Cowboys, who I couldn't really split them, but looking at both teams, both squads, and the way, especially the way Cappy's started the season.
Yeah,
you say that Spartans have got a great top 3, but I think they've got a very good top 4. Plus, you've got Ben coming in at 2.
Yeah.
I think if North can get anything from Hydro, then they're the real deal.
I think that's something we're going to probably get that one streamed. Hopefully, we hope, because that would be quite a good match to stream on.
Yeah.
So we're going to go on to the third Knockout Cup review now, which was of course the Wolves against the Cowboys, and this was Cowboys domination. No other word for it. 60-30 away win. And look at that aggregate score. 57 to 123. I mean, has there ever been a bigger aggregate score deficit in STS? I'm sure someone will...
Probably Warrior, was it North's last year? North and Cowboys was pretty... last year in the KO Cup, North lost by quite a lot in that one.
Yeah. Dare I say that had you something to say about this match? Because looking at that, they got rider placement for Langer or for number 3, and Langer I think raced five times with that RR. Is that something you want to talk about?
Yeah, I find it a bit strange. Obviously, being a former captain, I mean, obviously worked for the Cowboys because they won by 30 points, but obviously they were so far ahead from the first leg. I mean, I don't understand why they didn't just put Lango at 6 and move Rico to number 3. If Lango's going to have 5 rides, I mean, obviously that's something that they've spoke about. So
I think Lango did say that the reason why they did it is because just in case that Lango didn't start off very well, being I think it's probably only his second meeting of the season. But even so, with the lead they had from the first leg, there was no way that the with likes of Stefan and Bobby and Dick, They were gonna give up a 30-odd point. Especially when you see the Wolves side. I mean,
Yeah, obviously we knew what Wolves were missing a few goals as well. Yeah,
with ads missing, it was always going to be a struggle. It was always going to be a struggle. But no, that's the way they wanted to do it. So fair play to them. They got through in the end. I mean, it was no way that the Wolves were going to get enough points to get the claw back. But it'd be nice for them to win on the night, but that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah. So again, it's like the Wolves literally were taken to the woodshed pretty much. Literally, they did not get out the gate at all. I mean, I don't think. Well, they had I think they had like 2 wins in 15 races. I think Sis won his fourth ride, and then JC won his last ride.
Was Sis was refereeing and serving the meeting as well, so it probably didn't help that. I mean, that's an unusual score for Sizzler, home or away. 3 last places. I think being that he was reffing and serving, it's not the easiest thing to do, especially if you're not used to it. I mean, I can't remember the last time he actually served a meeting and raced in it. I don't think he's done it very often.
Yeah. So again, a dominant win there for the Cowboys. Of course, they now move on.
Can I just say, I'm pleased to see Liam getting improving this week after supposedly slagged him off a couple of weeks ago, and he actually beat Soup. I didn't, but I've just been honest. But good to see him actually score a few points and beat Super Dip as well.
Yeah. So very nice words there from you.
And I think that's is that the first maximum of the season, Stefan? Is that the first maximum from anyone this season?
I think so. Yeah.
I can't think of anyone who scored a maximum this season. If someone can correct me,
well, I'm sure Powers will because he's in the chat.
That's probably the first one. I think it might be the first one.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was none. Yeah.
Hang on, Powers should just chat. Yeah, first one that I remember, says Powell, so it could be. But I mean, being Stefan, what do you expect? Because the guy's on bloody fire. So that was the Knockout Cup reviews. We are going to have now Shads is Rider of the Week. So Shads, the floor is yours.
Well, there's a few contenders this week. I'll go through them. I'll go through them. I've got first of all Le Sorcier. This is in no particular order. I'm just how I wrote them down. Le Sorcier, 10+1 from 5. Birmingham, pretty good. Two heat wins. He's for a rider on a 4-point average, I'd be taking that every week. I've got to mention Stefan, his first maximum of the season. Don't normally mention Stefan too much because everyone expects him to score heavily, but get a maximum, that's especially away from home. Yeah, very good. Cappy, very impressive the other night at Hyde Road, 13+1 from 5. Very, very quick and super gator, fantastic. Brett Locker, 10+2 from 5 at Plymouth. The other was it last Sunday or Monday? Whichever day it was. In the same meeting, Max just dropped 1 point from his 5 rides, and Lango rider replacement rides took the rider replacement rides the other night at Birmingham, 11+2 from 5, and also he beat Sizzler twice. So this week, my ride of the week, it was between Lango and Cappy, but I'm going to go for Lango purely because it was away from home. Cappy only rode against. Oh, sorry, I forgot to mention Ben. That was right at the bottom. Ben, his Cooper scored the other night, looked very, very quick. Yeah, sorry, I was looking at the bottom of my street. Sorry, Ben. I'm giving it to Lango purely because he beat Sizzler a couple of times and JC away from home. Cappy rode well, but he only raced against Paris once. He only rode against the Pieman number 1 once. and he came third. So purely for that reason, I'm giving it to Lango this week.
Hey, congrats to Lango on getting the Rider of the Week this week from Shads. Congrats, mate.
And he's a mate. No, that's not a reason. No, that's purely because he was away from home and he beat Sizzler and JC.
Yeah.
Total 3 times between them. And Cappy only rode against the number one once and he didn't beat Paris. So that's the end.
Yeah.
But it was super close. If I could give it to both of them, I would.
Crazy. Well, a big
The way Cappy's going, he's definitely going to be up there again another week.
Yeah. Well, a big congrats to Lango for getting the Rider of the Week this week, and of course, a great little inclusion this is for the podcast this season, bringing in obviously Shads with his Rider of the Week. I'm sure we'll get others during the season. Of course, we were. I think Norse dominated like the first 2-3 weeks of the league, hence why they were Rider of the Week for those 2 consecutive weeks. But yeah, great to see Lango get the Rider of the Week this week from Shads. So moving swiftly on, I believe it's our first break, or is it? Are we doing this season 5 league week 3?
It's our only break.
It is the first break.
Then we're going into the next week's previews, and then we've got the GPF SCF tour.
Yes, we do. So this is the chance to get a cup of tea, stretch your legs. We're going to come back, and as Shad says, we're going to have the week 5 league previews, and then the SCS and BGP previews as well. So sit tight. Back in 5 minutes. And a very welcome back to All 4 Back with myself, Hads and Shads. So we're going to move on now to week 5 of the the season 19 league. And we start the previews with on Tuesday, the 2nd of July, 8:30, we have the Wolves against the Cowboys. So it's effectively a restaging of the Knockout Cup second leg. So Hads, I'm going to bring you into this one. How do you rate can the Wolves spring surprise against the Cowboys, who are on form after that last match?
I think we'll see a bit of a different Wolves team this week. I think Ads is available this week. Maybe Wolfie as well. So we'll see. With those two in the team, they can make a bit of a difference. Obviously, Stephen 101.
Ad's not available.
Ads is not available,
He just posted. He'll be in intensive care having his burn scene too.
Oh dear. Yeah, so it looks like another tough one then for the Wolves. Obviously, if they do bring a Void replacement, everybody could have a Void for Ads. I mean, or do they go with the other six? I'm sure somebody else may be unavailable. But the Cowboys were pretty solid without Stephen 101. So I mean, if you could add that to the mix as well, I think we could be seeing another Cowboys victory. To be honest.
Oh, you think like a big away win? Do you think?
I don't think it's not going to be as big as the KO Cup victory. Obviously, both teams will be dialed in on the track as well, practicing the same track for 2 weeks. So they just have to have a few more laps to get back used to what they did last week. Basically, it won't take a lot to get back to it. So I can see probably a 10, 12 point victory.
They might have Wolfie back as well.
Yeah. Maybe a 10 point victory for the Cowboys.
Well, we are hoping to get this one of the meetings streamed this week. We are still trying to work out who we can potentially have involved with the streaming that week. So of course, stand by for like Facebook announcements and Discord announcements for the for that one. So that's on the Tuesday. And now we have 2 matches on the Wednesday. Wednesday, the 3rd of July, 8 p.m. We have the Norse against Spartans. And this one could potentially, dare I say it, could be a league decider. Do you chaps agree?
Well, it's a bit early for that, but it's certainly going to tell us a lot about Hackney when they're up against who I believe are the favourites for the league. Norths have been they've been terrific, haven't they? Really, but we'll see, especially at home. We'll see how. I think it's going to be easy for the Spartans. I don't think they're going to go there expecting it to be easy, because I don't think there's going to be any surprises now. Because everyone knows, like when Warriors went there last season and they got absolutely hammered, didn't they? I think that was a surprise to everyone, but no one would be surprised if North beat Spartans this week.
Hads, do you agree with that?
Yeah, I think I have to agree with that. I mean, both teams are undefeated as well, I believe. So something's got to give there. But I think it's going to be a tough one. Obviously, we rode against Spartans twice and against Norse once, and we've both shown what they can do. Both they can do against us. So I think it's going to be a close one. I don't think there's going to be a lot in it. I think it could depend on availability for the couple of the Norse lads. I think it's obviously with the early start, 8 p.m. I'm guessing they have more people available. So I mean, for the Spartans, I think from what I remember last season when we rode there with Dynamite, I think Baz was pretty handy around Hackney. So I think we might see Baz ride this week.
It's going to be difficult to get a stream for this, because the two meetings on the same night and all our screen sharers are racing. I mean, who reviewed Fecky, Hank, Ben? So it's going to be difficult to get a stream going. I mean, commentating is not going to be a problem. Just getting someone to screen share is going to be the issue, I think, this week.
Yeah, so Yeah.
Definitely. Well, Powers is saying in the chat, Spartans by 6. So he's
Bold call.
yeah, bold call. That's it, definitely. Yeah, definitely. Just had a message from Craig, who's in the chat at the moment. He says to shout out to Dan. Can you mechanic for me at Plymouth tomorrow? I can't because I'm working. So unfortunately, I'm not gonna be able to, mate. Yeah, Craig's getting sideways again down at Plymouth tomorrow night. So hopefully Craig has a good one for that.
Has he recovered you put him in the fence? Not Cyprus Speedway.
He still gives me daggers when I go on the track.
Yeah.
He always does that. Oh, brilliant. So, and of course, on the same night, we do have a second match, and it is the Craig's team, the Warriors, against the Piemen. So, Hobnob says, sounds like a horse path rider. Can't even ride that track either. So, Rye House against Newcastle, Warriors against Piemen. And straight out the bat, that Heat 1, 2 former Storm Riders of Craig and Powys. Straight in Heat 1. I mean, that's box office straight out the bat. What night are the Warriors racing? They are Wednesday, the 3rd of July, Craig. It's on the screen, mate. If you're watching Ben Thompson's screen, yeah, it's a joint match between yourself and the Northern Spartans. So double match taking place. Chaps, this one very even on paper. I could see this one going either one or two ways. It all depends who turns up and how they perform. Of course, Had, you're in this match. So I'm going to go to Shads. Shads, your predictions for Warriors against Piemen?
Yeah, it's going to be tough, very tough for the Warriors, purely because of lack of match practice. I think they've only had one meeting this season.
Yeah.
So it's going to be very tough first home meeting for them. I think the Piemen are going to be smarting after their KR Cup exit, so they're going to want to get some points to as high up the table as they can. I mean, they're looking realistically for third or fourth place. So looking at what the teams around them are doing, but I think the Piemen are going to quite enjoy rides. I've had a few laps around there myself a few days ago, and some nice little fun track. I mean, the line's pretty easy to pick up. I think the Piemen are going to win this one quite narrowly. I think they're going to win it.
Bold call. Hads, do you agree?
I hope he's right, to be honest. I mean, obviously, we haven't got our away match in the league. We got a good draw against Wolves. Obviously, we'll be going into this trying to take advantage of their lack of match practice, only having one, and they haven't rode at home yet either. So hopefully they're not too dialed in.
Yeah.
And hopefully, I do think we've actually got a full squad to pick from, if I'm right. So it should be it's not too dissimilar to Newcastle, being a tight little track as well. So that probably helps us out as well. So.
Well, Craig's just saying in chat.
A little bit more forgiving than Newcastle. So you tend to get a lot less mistakes there.
Yeah. Well, so Craig just said in his my little message he's got, he said, "Never mind match practice. We've not even done any training practice."
Well, that's what I mean. I mean, if their number one rider doesn't know when the match is, I mean, what does that say for the rest of the team?
I mean,
so yeah.
We want to bring Badger in.
Yes, we will bring Badger in. I believe we're going into the BGP and SCS announcements and draws. So, excuse me, Badger, are you there?
Of course, he's there.
He's there.
Yeah, he's not unmuted himself.
He's not doing a cape, see?
Yeah, Hobnall saying C's not all there.
Right, lad. Sorry about that. Thank you for letting me
Oh, here
know.
he is.
How
Badger,
are you
good evening. Good evening, sir.
Good evening. How are we all doing?
evening. Yes, mate, not too bad, not too bad. Now, I know you have a bit of an announcement for us, so we're just going to say the floor is your, mate. Just what's new in the world of Badger?
So the announcement is that I have secured myself a job. What then now leaves me, well, I have to pull myself out for the season.
Oh,
In the league and the SCS, I could probably take a chance and maybe try to do the SCS, but I'm not going to risk it. So sadly, my season is now over early. If Craig had actually read the team chat at any point this week, he would have known this already, but apparently not.
Oh dear.
that's,
I bet you would have said that if you weren't leaving.
oh man.
But no, it's my shift pattern will be doing from 2 p.m. till 10 p.m. Unless teams will allow us to ride at 10 a.m. in the morning, then it'll be a miracle. But it's so that's my announcement that I've withdrew from the season, and not sure if I will make a return in the near future or not. I'd love to. I can't lie there. So yeah.
Well, I will say, Badger, you have been an excellent addition to the game, and also you've been countlessly like in our group in the Awful Bad podcast chat, you know, giving your thoughts and everything. So I think on behalf of everyone here in the game and also on the podcast, you know, thank you for your contribution. Good luck with the job as well, mate. You know, really appreciate it. You know, really, you know, fair play to you, mate. Fair play to you.
To try and listen in on the podcast as much as possible. I'll be staying around the Discord, keeping in contact with everyone because I've got nothing better to do with my life apart from that. Obviously,
You and me both, Ash.
At least I don't crash bands, so that's one good part.
Oh.
Say nothing.
I'll try and obviously keep an eye on the podcast. If I can't listen to them while I'm at work, then it'll be the definite that I'll be listening to them.
I'll give it 3 weeks before they sack him and he's back looking for a team place.
Oh, wow.
3 weeks, you're being generous there, Shads. I'll give it a week.
Wow.
No, it's in Tesco's warehouse, so I can't really.
Warehouse.
Yeah, it's a bit of I've been told what to do by Tank, so it might go well, it might not. So, but no.
2 to 1, it doesn't.
Man.
Yeah, I'll take Shad's odds on that it don't go too well, to be fair, but I'm hoping it doesn't go.
Well, prove us wrong, Badge. Prove us wrong, mate.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, lads, and enjoy the rest of the podcast.
All the best,
No worries,
Ashton.
Cheers, mate. Oh, so the big announcement: Badger's now pulled out of season 19.
If he hadn't mentioned the crash in the van, I wouldn't have said that. His own fault. He asked for it. He asked for that.
Oh man. So with that being said, we're now gonna move on swiftly to our final part of the show, which is the SCS and BGP announcements and draws. So, of course, the first round is taking place next Sunday. The 7th of July. So you see there, we've got the lineup. We've got Stefan, Racer Ryan, Powis, Sizzler, Craig, Bobby, Fakey, JC, Stephen, Scotty B, Stephen 101, DL Shaw, Squall, Skyrider, Hads, you've got in there as well, mate, and Capesy.
Don't sound too surprised.
Well, I mean, you didn't give much of a chance last year, Hads, but what are your thoughts going into this season? in the BGP?
Just the same, just to be a spoiler and try and make a couple of semi-finals again. I think it's stronger than what it has been for a long time, to be honest. So, I mean, obviously you got there, Stephen has stepped up from the SCS, replacing Ads, who's dropped out. But it's good to see Capesy in there as well, on Skyrider again. So we'll be trying to be the spoilers in there this season and taking a few points off people again. So
yeah,
should be good fun. For round 1, Sizzler is unavailable. So we have got a replacement rider for Sizzler. Is going to be Toretto for round 1.
Ooh, big call there.
So yeah, he steps into the first round, so it'd be good to see what he's like against his standard as well. So yeah, looking forward to it.
The stream briefly, but I think Ben's doing the draw, I believe. So do hang fire. We have all hands on deck for this one. Of course, the SCS and BGP do take place on the same night. There was talks about having it on separate nights, but I think the majority of the riders wanted it on the same night due to availability.
And also, you can still have league matches in the week as well, which would extend the season just way over into the new year. So it really wasn't really a goer.
So we got Aaron with the stream, hopefully, fingers crossed.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, looking at that BGP lineup, I mean, you've got like the big guns, Steph, Craig, Racer Ryan, like top 3 straight off the bat right there. I mean, can anyone stop Stefan this year?
Yes, Paris.
You think Powers is gonna bet Steph, yeah?
I think Paris is going to give him a good one for his money this time. Definitely.
Lads, I've just had a message off of Limo. He's offered to screen share one of the Wednesday meetings if we require it.
Oh, lovely. Thank you, Limo.
And the Warrior starts at 8:30. So thanks for that, Limo. Cheers, mate. I think you streamed before, and it was pretty good stream actually, from what I remember.
Yeah, he did say he was gonna, if he needed like to cover.
I don't think there'd be any issues with stuttering and things like that. So
no, definitely
great. That'd be brilliant. Yeah, it'd be great. Either one of those meetings would be terrific, I think.
Yeah.
We'll decide which one we're gonna. Obviously, you've got to get the team's permissions first.
Yes.
You can't just force it onto them, and then we'll have an announcement early next week.
We will indeed. And of course, on the same night of the BGP, we have the SCS, and I believe there is a wild card being announced.
Yeah.
So I don't know if who has that.
Yeah, the wild card has been chosen for the SCS, and it is Mr. Craig Hurl of the Panthers.
Oh, Craigie Harold comes in as a wild card.
Of the moment.
Yeah,
and
big move.
Also, as we know, Shads isn't riding in the opening meeting in the SCS, and he's been replaced by Super Dip.
So a couple of early replacements. Who Craigie Hurl, who beat Stefan twice. Yes, Hobnob, it was the one that beat Stefan twice. Wow. So we have our stream back on, and we have the draw for the first round of the BGP taking place at Kursko. So, Mr. Thompson, if you'd be so kind to spin the first name. So running at number 1 at Kursko will be yourself, Hadlington. You got number 1.
Straight off the bat.
Yeah. You are joined in Heat 1 by, riding at number 2, will be Toretto. It was almost Powys.
Almost.
So Toretto goes at number 2. Joining them in that opening race will be Capesy. So Hads, Toretto, and Capesy in the opening race so far. They'll be joined at number 4 by Scotty B. So Scotty B joins in that opening race.
A couple of piemen.
Yeah, definitely. So racing at 5, we have Stephen 101.
It's a very good lineup this year.
Yeah, definitely.
The GP quality this year.
Riding at 6 will be JC. So JC at number 6. At number 7. Oh, the first big name. Racer Ryan goes in at number 7. Who goes in at number 8? Still some big names still around. And it will be Skyrider. So Sky in at number 8. Next up, number 9, it will be Powys 84, goes in at number 9. And who will be at number 10? Number 10 will be the former silver helmet holder, DL Shaw. Number 11 will be Tank. So Tank is in at number 11. At number 12 will be Bobby. Wow, look at his last 4. Look at his last 4. Stefan, Craig, Fakey, and Squall. So Squall goes in at number 13. At 14, it will be Craig going in at number 14. So just two names left. At 15, it will be the defending BGP champion, Stefan. Which means by process of elimination, Fakey go in at number 16. Again, a very tasty looking lineup for the BGP this year. And any one of the riders that are in that meeting can potentially win it. But as you said, Powys has been given the positives by Squall. Squall by Shads to give Stefan a run for his money. So yeah, great lineup there. So, and as we said, we have the SCS round taking place on the same night. So we have Cam, Badger Racing, Ben Thompson, Le Sorcier, Hobnob, Wolfie, Mackinnon, Pompey, Shads, Big Slocany, Thrax, Heppel, Cappy, Hutty, Bewitcher, and of course the wild card will be Craigie Hurl. So with that being said, Mr. Thompson, draw the lines for the SCS, please. So starting off, riding at number 1. It will be Hobnob, goes in at number 1. Next at 2, it will be... Oh, Cappy just gets there. It was almost going to be Hutty there, but it was Cappy. So number 3 will be Thrax, goes in at number 3. Of course, Thrax is the head ref of the STS community. Completing the opening race, heat 8 number 1. At number 4 will be Pompey. Pompey goes at number 4. Next up at number 5, it will be Super Dip. Goes in at number 5. At 6 will be Bewitcher. Next up at number 7, it will be Hutty. And completing heat number 2, riding at number 8, it will be everyone's favourite Geordie Heffel, goes at number 8. Next up, number 9. We have Cam. Cam was a predominant scorer last year. Hopefully continue that form in the SCS this year. Next up, number 10, it will be Ben Thompson. Drawn in at number 10. Coming in at number 11, it will be Wolfie. So Wolfie goes in at number 11. At 12, it will be, well, it would have been Badger Racing, but of course with Badger's announcement, that will have to be changed. So stick around for announcements on that. Number 13 will be Le Sorcier. So Le Sorcier goes in number 13. At number 14, it will be Mackinnon from the Hackney Norse. He'll be in at number 14. That just leaves Big Slow Caney and Craigie Harrell. Number 15 will be Big Slow Caney, which puts the wild card. Number 16 is Craigie Harrell, completing the lineup for the SCS Round 1 at Kursko. And chaps, as you said, 2 really good lineups for both the SCS and the BGP this year. We've mentioned about the SCS, the BGP. Let's talk SCS. It's, as Scotty B just said in the chat there, it's wide open. Any one of the 16 can, or anyone of the 15 can win it. Do you guys agree?
Yeah, I've got Bewitcher as the favourite to win the series. If he rides in, I know last year he pulled out pretty early. I don't think he rode a meeting last year, but he pulled out pretty early. But he seems to be a bit more into it this year. So he's my favourite. Him and Big Slow Caney, Cam, I mean even Ben, and from seeing him the other night, Cappy. I think it's going to be between those 5. It's going to be the top 5. In what order? I still think Bewitcher's a strong favourite to win it. The way he started the season, obviously his average was 6 something last season, but I think he tops the Pieman's averages at the moment. So I think Bewitcher's going to take some beating if he rides in every meeting. A lot's going to depend on who misses meetings as well. You're going to get riders missing 1 or 2 meetings. It's going to knock them out of the top 3 potentially. I think the top 3 go into next year's GP. So we could be seeing some new names in the GPs next year.
Yes, definitely.
So
of course.
Cam, Ben Thompson, Cappy as well. Cappy's a new name to the game as well. So he's come on tremendously the first few weeks I've seen him race. So another one who could potentially win the series.
Hans, your thoughts on the SCS lineups?
Yeah, I do think it's wide open. I've just put in that in chat there. I think Mackin and the way he started the season's a good outsider. But you have people in there who can score pretty consistently at this level in this series, 8-9 points, like people like Wolfie, Le Sorcier as well. Obviously, as Shad's mentioned, Kaney and Bewitcher. So I think it's going to be very, very open. It's hard to pick a favourite for me. Obviously, Bewitcher, I rode in alongside him. He started the season very well.
Yeah.
But I think if I was to pick a top three before a wheel had turned, I'd probably have to go Bewitcher, Ben Thompson, and I'm going to say Cappy.
Oh, wow.
Interesting.
Not in any order. I mean, I think those just, that was just before wheels turned, just on recent form in the league form.
Pompey's the only rider in both series that doesn't actually ride in the league this year. So I think it's going to be difficult for him to get into regular. I mean, I found it difficult.
Yeah.
Racing. It's great in practice, but you're not in competitive racing. I think it's always going to be very difficult for Pompey's going to find it very hard this year.
Yeah.
And the likes of Heppel as well is not around that much. I mean, like I say, Warriors haven't practiced hardly, have they, this year? They haven't really had anything to practice for because they haven't been racing hardly. I think some of the Warriors boys are going to find it difficult.
Yeah, I do agree.
Well, of course, the SCS takes place next Sunday. And Scotty B says key there is attendance. So if you get to every match, you're pretty much going to be in line of getting that top 10, even top 5 for that matter, because of course everyone's going to be missing at least one, we think, in due course. But yeah, it's all going to be very interesting as the season progresses. Anyways, chaps, I think with that all being said, unless there's anything else you want to talk about or bring up in conversation for the last little 5-10 minutes we got, or is it just a case of wrapping up?
Just keep an eye out on socials for any potential stream for next week.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, we will. In terms of a podcast next week, we are unsure of what's going to happen because I'm actually away next week. I'm going to be gallivanting across the border to Cardiff, so I'm going to be away for that Friday. So unknown what's going to happen in terms of a podcast with you two chaps. As I say, keep a lookout on the socials for any announcements. It's been a great show as per normal, as we always do. Hobnum says, poor excuse, Dan. Poor excuse. I ain't been since last year. Give me a chance. But as I said, it's been a great show, lads, as per normal. So with anything left to say, I guess I can say it's a good night from Hads.
Good night, all.
And it's a good night from Shads.
Yeah, good night, everyone.
And it's a good night from me, Chester. Thanks very much for tuning in tonight, chaps. It's been a great show as always.
I'd just like to say, I did want to say one thing before we leave. Obviously, as you know, Tank's not been around the last couple of weeks. A big thanks to Ben for stepping in. Into the Tank role for the last couple of weeks. He's had to download a couple of things as well to get the stuff working. So fair play, Ben.
And we do hope to have this podcast actually on YouTube, hopefully tomorrow or when Ben has the chance to post it up. Of course, you'll be able to see it all when it's posted on YouTube. But yeah, thanks BT for stepping in the last 2 weeks. So for the ones that are racing this week, come in, and of course in the SCS. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Ride safe, and we'll catch you all, hopefully, well, you guys will, see Hads and Shaz next week. But until then, this is Chester signing out for another week. All full back. Take care and good night.